You have to be careful about making a weird show or watching a weird show.
Hello, this is Greg Smalley on Pod 366, a weird movies podcast, joined today by the acceptable Giles Edwards.
Hello, everybody.
Very acceptable.
Hmm.
And today, there are almost no movies to report on that are coming out this week. So, what we're going to do is we're going to report on one of some interest that's newly out on VOD, and then we're going to look forward into the future, the deep future, for things that are coming up, as a lot of them in 2026, and some of them we don't know when they're coming out. But we have some new upcoming movies to report on and maybe get you excited for down the road. So this is the future episode.
Yeah. Teaser for the coming exciting season of stuff happening.
Right. So just a, notice we will have, I guess, 2 more episodes and then be off for Thanksgiving. And then, of course, we'll be starting to get into the end of the year recap season for weird movies. But let us see what we can discuss today. Allow me to, if I can figure out exactly where I am, to share this screen. There we go. Come on. There we go. This should be it. There we go. You see it?
I see that you started sharing, and I see 7 images.
7 images that we have to discuss. And as I said, we'll start with one that is actually out now. Now, Giles, this may prove quite the challenge for you to describe. But I'm gonna let you go for it. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 characters in this.
There sure are, and these characters are standing in front of what looks like a stage with some curtain fringe all done up nice. We can see part of a banner motto on this stage with the words visible pain and misery with a Z, mind you. And let's see, among these people standing in front of the stage, I'd say 2 or 3 of them look kind of normal, although one of those 3 seems to be done up in a bomb disposal outfit. There's another of the 3 is a rather okay, no, never mind. Other than the bomb disposal looking guy, there are everyone is very distinct because what I thought was 2 people apparently is actually 1, with each half looking, fairly normal, except quite obviously fused around the torso. A stubbled, wavy-haired fellow looking distressed seems to be bodily attached to a young woman who looks very distressed. Other figures include a shorn-headed, glamorously done up in red dress, red fingernails and lipstick, and some really, really nice dark shades, and some earrings there. Then there's looks like a black gentleman with beard. I can't see much of him though. His headdress looks quite floral and vibrant. His expression is also something of just. In fact, pretty much all of them have a distressed expression, except for the little fellow down toward the right as a sort of I don't know, seems to be coping better with whatever they're looking at. But on the other hand, he seems to be some sort of giant grub man with some spectacles attached, resting on his nose and attached to presumably some part of him, although I don't know what kind of clothes they might be wearing. Also seems to be a cow man. You can see some udders, but also some horns, so a cow person in a kind of Wild West motif. There's someone in a scuba diving suit, and of course, looming over the back are 2 very disfigured entities, but on the other hand, they do seem to be the most grinning of the bunch. There seem to be a pair of happy monster types there. So, all told, we're looking at something pretty interesting, although perhaps not quite as interesting as whatever they're looking at.
Okay, well, I hope that was everybody was able to follow all that.
Right? Yeah.
Uh, so there are actually nine figures, but 10 actors, and two of whom are obvious puppets, and two more are, heavily made up. They all look kind of freaky,
Oh,
and
yeah, yeah, a bit.
it's because they are freaks from the movie Freaked. Freaked. Giles, what do you know about Freaked?
I really nothing, although I think I've seen the screenshot of the monster guy puppet entity on the right once or twice online for some comedic effect. But yeah, I this is something that was new to me when I looked this afternoon at the link you sent. So,
Okay, well, Freaked is a 1993 comedy, and I'm going to read a little from Rob Steele's 2012 review for us. The plot is a sleazy Hollywood actor is hired by an evil corporation to go to South America, where he is immediately kidnapped by a freak shop owner who transforms him and his friends into hideous mutant freaks. Freekz. So it's all about freaks. There are things like, walking eyeballs. There's a freak who is just a sock puppet. All sorts of stuff. Rob Steele describes it sort of like Mad Magazine episode, our issue come to life.
yeah.
Um, and I do want to point out the cast for this is kind of impressive. It was co-directed by Alex Winter. Do you know Alex Winter? Does that ring a bell?
Not off the top of my head. I could.
Well, he was either Bill or Ted. I don't remember which one.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
They
I
went
missed that.
on to do Bill and Ted's Big Adventure, or maybe Bill and Ted's Big Adventures was before this. This is in
Well,
1993.
I believe their adventure, not to be pedantic, was excellent.
It was excellent adventure, yes. And it was in probably 1990 or so, I think.
Yeah, let's see what Bill and Ted's act. Yep, 1989.
Okay, so
As
this is
Bill S.
after.
Preston.
This is after Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure with Alex Winter directing and starring, but it has a pretty impressive cast that also includes Randy Quaid as the big freak maker. It includes character actor William Sadler, who you would recognize, Brooke Shields,
Hmm.
Bobcat Goldthwait, Morgan Fairchild, Keanu Reeves, Bill or Ted, who appears uncredited, Larry Bud Melman, who I hope everybody remembers Larry Bud Melman, but people today may not be familiar with the glories of Larry Bud Melman. And did I mention Brooke Shields?
Yeah,
And
Bobcat Goldthwait
Bobcat Goldthwait,
was
and
that.
of course, Mr. T, who you can
Yeah.
see there on
Oh,
that.
okay. That, yeah.
Yes, Mr. T as the bearded lady.
Ah, of course.
Rob Steele really loved this movie, did not recommend it for the list because
Oh,
it was a comedy, um, more of just an anything goes gonzo comedy. Um, I didn't like it quite as much, but it is certainly quite watchable, has a cult following, is
hmm.
now out restored on VOD for the first time, I'm pretty sure, and there is a collector's edition physical media set that is coming.
Oh,
Is
wow.
I think you can order it directly from Alamo Draft House.
Yeah, they got a buy now button right next to this thing that looks like it's got a lot of stuff going on in it, including, I think, some stickers.
Yeah, and it's from produced by Umbrella Entertainment, the Australian company, uh, and you can buy it through Alamo Draft House, and it will be available at regular retailers, I believe, week next week or a few weeks after. It's going to be exclusive to this online store for the time being. But
Mhm.
that's Freaked. Uh, so that
Coming to
is,
you grand style on
yeah,
4K.
yeah, that is the new release of the week. You can watch it now on VOD and order that physical media set if you are so inclined. It is a 4K Ultra UHD, as we would expect, plus a Blu-ray, thank goodness, and what looks like a whole disc of extra features. So that is the big new release. Now we're just going to go on to news and stuff that is coming up. If I can once again get to this, let's see. Here,
Hey,
we have a movie that Giles has seen and
I,
very briefly reported on.
yeah, I saw
Describe
very
this
much.
poster, if you would, for us.
Yeah, a black and white poster centered in front is a nondescript youngish guy looking ahead at three stacked cathode ray televisions, two of which appear to have static. The top one has static a little bit, but also some sort of ominous furry beastie is on screen in that. And his viewing space seems to be in the center aisle of some sort of church or small chapel with some pews lining either side, leading up to an altar that's obscured by the televisions. There's little fog, misty things floating around, and the congregants are all looking back at this fellow as he looks forward at the TVs, and they have more than a little bit of an insectoid kind of look to them. Certainly a human size and proportions, but very, very big multifaceted eyes and even little antenna things as they look back at both the viewer within this poster and us, the viewer of the poster. And I suppose worth mentioning, the brief title is in all capital letters and is spelled out with an old-timey computer font letters making up the larger letters.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I thought it was, at first, I thought it was a series of zeros and ones, but now that I look at it more closely, no, it's just all sorts of uh, random uh, computer language, machine language letters put together. And so this is Obex, which we mention it because we have seen it. It debuted at Sundance last year. Giles caught it at Fantasia, and we now have a firm release, theatrical release date for it, which is January 9th of 2026. It's from Albert Burney, a director of Strawberry Mansion, and co-written by Pete O's, who we interviewed on this pod for what was the name? Love and Work was the
Yep.
movie. Also has in it Frank Mosley, who was also in Love and Work and in several other movies that we've done.
Mm.
And we have interviewed Albert Burney as well, but not for the pod, on a separate interview for Strawberry Mansion. So lots of connections to us there. Giles, what do you want to tell us about Obex the movie?
Oh, it is a lot. One way is a very wholesome, fun adventure movie thing, but it's also very weird too. I should have given it a fuller write-up. The only excuse I can make there is maybe I got busy or it was toward the end of the festival. Regardless, eminently enjoyable movie with it's a story about a kind of shut-in guy whose job, or at least his income stems from an ad he has out that says, "Send me $5 and I'll draw your portrait with my computer." With the premise being this person would send their photograph to him with $5, and there's this beautiful symphonic scene with him and his keyboard punching out all manner of different characters to create an 8.5
Yeah.
by 11 facsimile. So he eventually, in this computer magazine, he advertises and he sees an ad for a game called Obex, which promises to be, the latest cool super adventure thing that you can be the star of. And mind you, this is 1987 when this movie is set. And so a bit of limited graphics wise, but he goes through motion, sends them some motion capture of him on video, some photographs, tells them his dog's name, and he gets this crummy product back. But then eventually, the day after he tries out the disappointing game, his dog goes missing, and he goes on a magical adventure in the land of Obex.
In the land of Obex. Yes, so definitely a weird one, right?
Yeah.
You can tell from the poster, I think, that it's going to be a weird one. And you will also testify to that. So January 9th, we'll look at that. More coverage coming from us. That'll be a count as a 2026 movie for us. And speaking of things that I think will be out in 2026, although I'm not sure we have a firm date on this one, here is a still, Giles. Do you want to describe it?
A very yellow still, yellow wall, slightly different section, a slightly different yellow wall section with a little sign on it. And displayed across this widescreen wall are three young women, I believe young black women, and they are wearing yellow. One has a sort of polo shirt thing. Another has a yellow shirt, yellow tie, yellow blazer in a more masculine style. And on the far right, we have the more shoulder accentuated businesswoman power suit thing, but all still with a yellow blouse and a yellow sort of neckerchief thing folded nicely in the front. Each of them wearing name tags, which suggests they're probably at work. And they look in different ways a little troubled by what is happening in front of them, although they do all seem to be peering in slightly different directions. So maybe it's just an awkward moment as they are recovering from whatever, maybe perhaps a coworker or a customer has done. But so, yeah, real yellow going on here.
Okay. And do you know what it is from?
Would this be I Love Boosters?
It would be I Love Boosters.
All right.
And it is from Boots Riley of Sorry to Bother You, a canonically weird movie. We know next to nothing about this plot, except we do know the title Boosters refers to slang for shoplifting, and the film is about shoplifters.
Yeah.
Specifically, the only description we have of it is from Deadline says, the film centers on a ring of enterprising boosters, aka shoplifters, who take aim at a cutthroat fashion maven. Additional plot details are under wraps. And we also, though, we have a cast list. Keke Palmer, Demi Moore, Lakeith Stanfield, and Naomi Ackie. And because it's from Boots Riley, I doubt Boots Riley is going to do a conventional realist movie about shoplifting.
This
Would be a
still
surprise.
suggests you may be right, Greg.
Does still suggest that?
Well, I don't typically see this much yellow in a realistic.
Simply because it's so yellow. Yes. Okay. Well, but that's all we know about it. But we don't even know the release date. We do know it's Neon took it on, which is a good sign. So it's a pretty big one. But we're going based largely on Boots Riley means that it's something we're going to want to look at for sure. Okay. And now other ones that we probably know even less about. Let's go to this very simple still.
Very simple. Yes, this is young Asian woman, blank stare, fairly sedate, non-committal expression on her face, although her brow is furrowed a little bit in concern or maybe pain or something. Shoulder length hair that we can see draping down onto a pink robe of some sort, I'm guessing, only because we can see that she's resting her head on a pillow, looking perhaps not as responsive to the goings-on around her as might be hoped for.
Okay, and do you have an idea what the name of this?
I'm guessing this is this girl. This is probably the Sleepless Girl.
Yes, The Sleepless Girl. And this is not, I don't think, a still from the film. I think it's just, it might be, but I think it's just concept art and a picture of the star because this movie is not completed yet. It is a Taiwanese movie, and the plot is described as it's about a man who awakens with no memory except for a compelling urge to find a Japanese girl named Hitomi. When he finally meets her, he is drawn into a chain of surreal events that force them to live on the run. And there is more in the article on Variety about the plot. So we do have a lot more detail about the plot of this one than we do I Love Boosters. There is stuff about dreams, dreams in reality, comas, AI-generated virtual idols, and stuff like that. It is seeking finishing funds at the it's the what is it Tokyo Gap financing market, which is where films go to seek, especially Asian films go to seek extra money to complete movies that have some money, just not enough to finish everything off. Project has been in development for 2 years, so and it was Giles in a workshop at Frontiers at Fantasia.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not I don't think as a press member, I believe I'm either forbidden or certainly discouraged from wasting people's time there since I'm not pitching projects and that's what that's for. So I certainly saw any number of Frontier people, but what went on in that section is a mystery to me.
Yeah, they're working on marketing and getting
Yeah.
they're not completed films. They're projects that they're trying to get off the ground and network and gain some financing and so forth. Um, so that's that. We do have some dates on this. It says here at Variety that they hope to complete their financing by mid 2026, begin principal photography in late 2026,
Hmm.
and then premiere it in 2027. It definitely sounds weird from everything we've heard, and they are, releasing more details on this one because they are trying to pitch it and gain some funding. So that is the Sleepless Girl, which we would hope to see in
Yeah.
2027. So we are really,
Uh-oh, you've cut off, which suggests I've gone silent.
I'm sorry, you can't hear me?
Hello, hello.
All right. Giles apparently can't hear me, so
Oh,
now Giles is a bit
here.
coming. Are you back, Giles?
I hope so. I can
Okay.
hear that.
All right. Giles is back after a brief stutter in the ether. Three more items to cover, so just hold on for a little bit longer. And these won't take too much time, I don't think. Here we just have a picture.
Yeah, we got a picture of a young blonde woman smiling, standing in front of a satiny, curtainy backdrop. Breezy, summer-looking dress in a, I don't know, on the yellower side of tan. Um, yeah, I ain't got much more than that.
Well, that's all you have. It's Shailene Woodley. We can add
Okay.
that.
Oh,
Um, and we don't know much about this project. It's kind of a long shot. What do you know the name even, Giles? Do you remember
yeah,
the
I read the link. So this is going to be the star of Ultra.
Ultra? Yes, and so it's not even a still. It's just her headshot. Um, this is a described as a psychological thriller, Ultra, set in the world of competitive endurance running. It's set in a race in Death Valley, a 135-mile race through Death Valley, which I presume is a real thing. I don't know whether it is or not, or whether it was just invented for the.
Oof.
But it sounds pretty punishing for to take. If you've ever been
Yeah.
to Death Valley,
I I've only ever heard it's insanely warm.
it's the hottest place in North America, maybe in the world, if not the hottest place in the world, very close to it. So
Oh,
135 miles through Death Valley would be intensely punishing. And so you would expect perhaps that the runners doing this might start to hallucinate,
Yeah. Yeah.
potentially.
Yeah. Hopefully that's the worst.
Yes. The plot, we do know something about the plot in that the runner, in this case, has lost her twin sister right before she enters this ultra marathon. And as she is racing, she finds herself being pursued by a
Hmm.
mysterious figure in white. Um, do not know anything really about the status of this one. We do know all that plot. We know the script has been written. Um, I believe it might be completed and just seeking distribution. You read the article, Giles. Did you get a sense they kind of didn't really?
It yeah, danced around some very light details. I didn't stumble across anything that
I think it's completed, and they are looking for
okay, yeah,
distributors
that
in
sounds like
2025.
something yeah.
So, if they find distribution in 2025, we can probably expect to see this in 2026, I would assume, but maybe it would go to film festivals first and
Mhm.
spend some time there. Um, Shailene Woodley, pretty decent name for your movie. She was in these Insurgent, Divergent movies and The Fault in Our Stars.
Oh, okay. I've heard those words.
Yeah. So she's a well-known actress.
Mhm.
So it should get some traction. Don't really know how weird it will be. The description sounded weird enough to me to mention it. And plus,
Hmm.
we didn't have a whole lot going this week. So wanted to bring that to your attention. Ultra, a psychological thriller set in the world of endurance running that you should be able to see potentially in
Oh,
2026, maybe
yeah,
20.
looking at the IMDb, they describe Ultra as in being in pre-production right now, so
Okay.
might have a slightly longer timeline than the other.
Perhaps, or perhaps IMDb.
Maybe they'll run really fast and get it done quick.
IMDb is not always
That's
up to
true.
date. I think they still list Joe Badon's Wheel of Heaven as being in production when it's actually been released. Not always correct.
Ah, true.
But let's move on to this one, about which I do know a little bit more, at least. We have, I guess it's a poster or a
Yeah,
promotional image for this, Giles. Do
yeah,
you wanna...
yeah. It's neutral pink backdrop here. Kind of centered in the frame are I'm gonna guess a sideways piece of stylized celluloid with the feeder holes on the top and bottom with little squares there, and two larger frames, which I'm guessing provide us sort of clip art looking symbols of the main characters. I'm going to say there's a balaclava ski mask thing in blue with a one of the eyes obscured by some yellow and a geometric borderline arcane looking symbol over one of the eyes there. That's in the left hand of the larger frames. And in the right hand of the larger frame, at a jaunty angle, is a red tone semi-automatic pistol, not dissimilar from a 1911, but certainly not exactly that. And other symbols are some green, bright green diamond things that I associate with bowling, thanks to the Big Lebowski movie. There is a sort of man symbol in the upper right, except much more with a sort of target dot in the middle. There's a peace sign. There's a star surrounded by other stars, and then in sort of, shall we say, chirpy handwriting, I believe that is the title
That is
of
the
this
title.
particular motion picture.
Read the title.
Close Up, an Odyssey.
Yes, and although Odyssey is spelled normally in this piece of art, in the other places I've seen them mention this film.
Ah,
It
yes.
is it is stylized as Odyssey, ODD
Mm,
dash Issy. Odd-yssey. So
mm.
an odd movie. And we've seen the trailer for this one. Before I get into it, Giles, did you see the trailer?
I did see the trailer.
And what did you think? How would you?
This looks like a real Gatsby movie. Everything there, lots of colors, lots of I can never remember the term for flipping the chrome of the color of the of the image, so it looks
Polarization?
yeah, that thing going on there. A lot of close-up shots of these two odd people, one of whom is played by the director, I believe.
Yes.
And so yeah, it looks certainly worth our attention.
Right. It's got the trailer has a very sort of throwback 1967 feel to
Oh,
it.
that's right. Yeah, the narrator. How could I forget that?
Got a narrator and the film stock itself and so forth. The colorful psychedelic aesthetic. The plot is our star Lucy takes a cosmic journey to Mars with her pot dealer. Is how I would describe it. It has been completely shot by Nick Gatsby and Sky Armenta, who we have had previously on the show to discuss their other psychedelic movie, Zapper. This one is even more leaning into the psychedelic theme. Basically, like I say, it looks like it could have come out from the Summer of Love almost.
Also looks like it's based on a previous short film
They
from.
did a previous short film, yes, on it. And this is the feature length version. And we do know that it's been completed. They have a GoFundMe page, which we will link for their final costs, which they want to get music rights for soundtrack to complete the
Uh,
story and little thing, and the other administrative things. Now, it's not really clear on this GoFundMe page how much they're asking for because in the text it says they're looking for $3,500, which is very modest. But in the kind of sidebar thing, it says they're looking for $1.6 thousand dollars,
which
and
is
they've raised $1,300. So
oh,
well on their way to completing that. But if you'd like to help out, we'll have a link. These are homemade movies, very weird, very psychedelic. I believe they are located in the Colorado Springs slash Denver area.
hmm.
And so we will likely, it wouldn't be surprised if we had them on to talk about this once it
Yeah.
is
Yes.
finalized and out there, most likely to show up on Tubi, I would think.
Yeah, because I remember we had the director join us when we were doing the 366 watch parties. We saw My
That's
Neighbor Wants
true.
Me.
He did for his first movie, My Neighbor Wants to Kill Me. I don't know if
Yeah.
that was his
My
first.
Neighbor Wants Me Dead.
My
Yeah.
Neighbor Wants Me Dead. That was a previous movie of his. I don't know if it was his first feature or not, but certainly previous to this one and Zapper. And so that is Close Up, an Odyssey. You would expect that potentially could be out in 2025, as soon as 2025. I would imagine 2026, early
Mm.
2026, though. And again, I think Tubi is likely landing place for that. Um, but we will let you know when we know more. And finally, this is not about a new movie. In fact, it's pretty much as far away from being about a new movie as it could possibly be.
Mhm.
But Giles, do you want to describe this picture?
I believe we're looking at younger side of middle-aged bearded Greek fellow with wearing a nice suit jacket, a neat vertically striped collared shirt. And since I know who this is and what the movie is, I can tell you that he's standing in front of a big display sign for this recent feature of his that has some really cool Art Deco-y geometric block-looking font for the title.
Yes, and you can't read that title, but the title is Begonia, and that is Yorgos Lanthimos. And why am I showing you a picture of Yorgos Lanthimos, Giles?
Um, oh, well, Begonia is out, and I believe, well, you certainly told us all that we must see it. And you did share with me, and I presume you will with our readers, a link saying that he's gonna stop for a little bit.
Yes, very sort of disappointing. Yorgos Lanthimos, after completing Begonia, needs a break from movies. And he says, hold me to it. Uh, he doesn't actually say how long a break. He says a little break, and he can't keep up the pace. He has done 3 movies in 3 years, with Poor Things in 2023, Kinds of Kindness in 2024, Begonia in 2025. All excellent movies, well worth your time. And I guess he's a bit burnt out. At
Yeah,
least,
well, and the shortest of those three is 2 hours with Begonia, so three solid. Uh,
yeah, all with Emma Stone and
yeah.
2 of 3 with Jesse Plemons. Um, but yeah, is a little bit, man, I would love for Yorgos Lanthimos to make a movie every year if he could keep them up at the same quality
Right.
as they've been doing. But I don't know, how long a break he plans to take. Certainly, he's not retiring. It doesn't sound like he's retiring. But the fact that he felt it necessary to, make a public announcement that he's taking a break makes me think um, it's going to be at least a year before he even probably starts work on his next project. He's still, as you say, younger side of middle age, so he should still have many years in him. But we're probably not going to be able to see a movie a year from him. Can't keep up that pace.
Well, that's all right.
Yeah,
Yeah, don't want to. Yeah, as he worries, doesn't want to burn out, but at the same time, since Begonia, he's done a short film already. I wouldn't be surprised if this break were briefer than many other directors' standard gap.
yeah. Well, let's see. As I say, what's remarkable is not just that he's been going so fast, but that they've been such high quality.
Yeah, that's true.
I gave Poor Things a must-see rating. I gave Kinds of Kindness a recommended rating, and I'm giving Begonia again as the my review dropped today as
Mm.
we are recording this. Yesterday, as you are watching this, I gave Begonia another must-see rating. So
Mhm.
I was very impressed by it. I think I was more impressed by it than most people who saw it, although the reviews were generally quite positive. There is a montage at the end that is just killer and kind of sums up to me the sort of tone of Lanthimos movies, which is that they are very cynical, but they are also very melancholy and focused on beauty and focused on a deep love for human beings and a sadness about what he sees going on with the absurdity of human
Mm.
beings. That's my take on Lanthimos, at least, and one of the reasons why I like him so much. He is weird. It seems nihilistic on the surface, but I think that there is a deep humanity behind it all that shines
Yeah.
through. And so that's it for today. We'll be back next week with more reviews of movies coming to you. Like, subscribe, buy the book, watch to the end, more comment on the YouTube videos. That helps
Yeah.
us as well. And we are going to say goodbye and see you next week,
Bye
folks.
bye, everybody.
Bye bye.
Weird. Yeah, I guess that is the word for it. Weird.